I gotta fix some things at the same time. But I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all. Yeah, it's a late stream. It's a late stream. Come on in. Come on in. Yeah, buddy. Can y'all hear me? Hold on. Let me turn this down. Can y'all hear me? We good? We sound all right out there? Sound check. I don't know what's going on. Let me know. Two. Hey, this crazy. It's late night. Man, but I might as well do it now because I know I'm gonna be tied up tomorrow. And then y'all got, well, I don't know. We'll see. Things might work out, you know. But we loud and clear. Late is better. Hey. Yeah, I had to do a couple things. I wanted to go earlier today, but I had to do a couple things, so I was like, let me go ahead and knock this out now. OCO, Austin, Texas in the building. Something just flew across my screen and I missed it. I don't know what that was. Late is okay. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm a night owl. Yeah, so am I. I usually get a lot of work done around this time. And which reminded me, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and knock this one out. Alabama in the building. Florida in the building. What's up? Carson Kiley in the building. Dallas, Texas checking in. I know it's late, y'all. I apologize. But hey, you up with me. I appreciate you. I know it's late. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to switch these screens here too. Boston, South End, I see you. Nola, what's going on? Atlanta, GA in the building. Marietta in the building. San Antonio, Texas in the building. Buffalo, NY. Night Crew, what up? What's up, Baltimore? Memphis 10 in the building. Sacramento, Cali in the building. Oklahoma City in the building. Yeah, it's 9 something over there where y'all at. And Cali, hold up. Let me switch screens real quick.
OCO, freethinkers. You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet.
This brother, he is raising some serious questions.
He's here to make you think.
What I'm trying to do is get our people to understand that we have been lied to all the way around about our history. Can you name any other group of people, no matter their skin complexion, that are being labeled primarily as the name of 2 continents? Not 2 countries, 2 continents. That is called a misnomer, which is the act of applying a wrong name to some person or thing.
The best teacher you wished you had in school. Have your pens and paper handy and get ready to take notes.
I want y'all to check out somebody named Dane Calloway.
Dane Calloway?
Look into Dane Calloway. He has a lot of information about how this whole shit was told in reverse. Okay, where they say, oh, we came from Africa over here. No, a lot of us was already here.
And information that was put put together by a man by the name of Dane Calloway, who is also questioning the slave trade. And he's done some remarkable videos on the history of the slave trade in the United States. And he's gone back down the food chain and gone back down the line, and he's realized that a lot of the so-called African Americans in the United States are not African at all. They're actually Native Americans, because the slave trade did not happen the way we were told that it happened.
It's Dane Calloway.
Go and watch this man's channel, man. This dude is phenomenal.
I'm not saying African American because they're not African American. They're the Aboriginals, because they were the true Native Americans.
Set it on fire. Fire.
They're the copper colored race. Look up Dane Calloway and watch his fucking shows. That man, I mean, Dane Calloway on YouTube, oh my God. I mean, he is fucking beyond brilliant. The research he does, whoo, he goes way deep into this shit.
Relax and take notes.
It's Dane Calloway on I'm Just Here to Make You Think Radio.
Yeah. Turn it up. Hey. Look, my wife and I, so far we put out 3 books and they 5 stars, cause we educating the tribe up. 100 years after 100 years, they done lied to us, but we wised up. The first book got them haters shook, cause it's up on my people, take a drive up. Memory lane, down memory lane, remember everything, watch it line up. And the second book, we exposed it all, had them gatekeepers going, how but predictable, they was fictional. All I heard getting that lies piled up. In the third book, we was riled up, like a car's engine with his mouths up. They the lie that said that we came from Africa, when that's where they came from round, bro. Hey, finding out all on your own is what I highly recommend and suggest. And if you looking for answers and content by me, I highly recommend you the best, which is my website at the link you see just across the screen. Don't let it miss you, I make it simple. I double down on that black and white, it's too official. Yeah. All right, let me put it up there for y'all. All right, so okay, now I see my chat is not appearing. See, this is the first thing I had to fix. Hold on, let me get my chat real quick. 1 second. Okay. Boom. Take that off, put this in. Boom. Now it should pop up. Okay. All right, let me really quickly fix that. I told you I had to fix that because I had to bring back my old one, because that other one was like when y'all flood the stream, it which is cool. I'm not, I'm not worried about that at all. Damn, this look weird. I gotta make that more visible. Yeah, I'm not worried about flooding the stream part. It's more like making sure this thing could be seen. Okay. Then I bring it down. Yeah, it was damn, I mean, it's still not. I'm gonna have to figure out a better place to put that. It's still not quite the way I want it. Not quite. All right, let me deal with it for right now because I'm not trying to spend too much time on it. But so let me go over what we talking about. Yeah, this is live, baby. This is live. Let me shout out y'all that I missed here. Somebody, I think his name was Sia Boone, became a member. I appreciate that. Then there was another person I didn't get a chance to see. Then Fred, I appreciate that. Thank you for becoming a member. Darren, thank you for becoming a member. And And you're sure, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Anybody that I missed, I apologize. Like if you could say something right now, I would know for sure because you all have the logo beside your name. All right, so let's do this because there's a couple things I wanted to show y'all. I know it's a little late, so I'm gonna do things a little bit differently. I'm gonna make sure that we get to what I want to talk about because I'm not trying to say I'm gonna rush it, but I want to introduce it to you all because I'll be playing a few videos pertaining to what we'll be discussing, which is why the indigenous people of America, okay? This is what this is about. Why the indigenous people of America were known as the American Indians and not Native Americans that many have mistakenly associated with each other. I notice there's some people out there that are doing that. Now, let me mention this. I understand why certain people would do that because they would think that would be the politically correct terminology for our people. And I understand why you're doing that. But there is a difference. They are not the same people and do not share the same history. So this subject correlates with many documentaries I covered on this subject that I had presented previously here on the channel, and which my wife and I have researched and presented evidence that proves these claims to be truthful, okay? Because I know it's a couple of people out there that have no idea what I'm talking about. So, and I realize this is their first time hearing that, like, but they probably haven't thought about where that term came from and why it doesn't link up with the term American Indian. It's the reason why we're doing that because due to the complexity of the information that is not known to the public, that my wife and I have presented previously. In this video, like right here, what I'm getting ready to show you all and other videos that I will be playing, I will attempt to simplify particular but essential points, okay, so that you may digest this food for thought later and easier. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you're doing it right now, that's even better. If you digest this food right now, perfect. But sometimes I understand a lot of people tell me that they have to watch the videos about 2 or 3 times in order to digest it a lot easier, and that's fine. And I want to start things off with a question for those of you in the chat right now. When was the term that was used to describe the indigenous people of America, American Indian, changed to be considered the term Native American? So I'm gonna say it again. When was the term that was used to describe the indigenous people of America, which is American Indian, changed to be considered the term Native American? So I'm looking in the chat right now. Oh, CEO Levante, thank you for joining too. What's up, Sister Michelle? What's going on? VV says merch store, that'll come up soon. I do have merch out right now, but I'm getting some things done with the merch to make it go to 10 times on the level. All right, somebody said 1970s, Indian Removal Act. Somebody said 1880s. I see 1833, 1950, 1870s, 1865, Civil War. Okay, 1960s, 1970s. Somebody said 1895. Another person said Civil War. Levante said American Indian didn't come until the 1970s. Okay. 1970s, 1970s. I'm seeing that a lot. 1980s. 1970s a lot. Okay. Devin says 1790. The reason why it wouldn't be 1790 is because that is the exact same year that the census started. And if the census started that same year and they weren't marking them down as Native Americans, it was free white males, 18 years and up, free white females, and free white free whites 18 years and under, then all other free, and then slaves. That was the classifications that they had in writing during the 1790 U.S. Census. So you got to come up way up, believe it or not, way up to figure out when the term Native American was utilized. Like, and when? Like, when do we, okay, I get it. Tons of people will give their best guesses, right? But people actually have no clue. What I mean by that is when it was changed to be considered the term Native American. Keep that in mind. You automatically associating American Indian with Native American, but nobody explained how that happened, when it happened. We know when the term Native American started popping up, but when was it changed? When was the term that was used to describe the indigenous people of America, American Indian, changed to be considered the term Native American? And people, once again, some people have no clue and didn't bother to check that either. How can a group of people that immigrated to the Americas after the mid-1800s be considered the American Indians or the actual indigenous people of this landmass historically? How? How can a group of people that immigrated to the Americas after the mid-1800s be considered the American Indians or the actual indigenous people of this landmass historically? Why are people believing that the much later created term Native American is referring to the indigenous people of the Americas or the American Indians? And I'm going to give you the short answer to this question for now, because a particular group of foreigners assumed the identity of the indigenous people by way of a process or by way of the process of assimilation. Now, we're about to get into this because you should remember previously we talked about assimilation. We talked about nativism. You should be recalling these videos that we went over and I put out. It's still on the channel. And we also proved why, and I'm referring, when we say we, I'm referring to my wife and I. We also proved why calling yourself a native means that you're calling yourself a foreigner to America. Okay, and actually, let me pull some things up. Give me a sec. I want to show a couple things. I'm gonna drop this down. I want to show a couple things because there's a lot of misconception going on. Okay, people are not understanding that. Once again, I'm gonna say this again because I don't want my message misconstrued here. I do realize that there's people out there saying they're native or saying that they're American Indian, knowing that they are the indigenous people. So they're saying that to be politically correct. Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the group Native American. Native Americans are not indigenous to the Americas or North America. They didn't come from South America. They didn't come from Central America. Damn sure ain't come from North America. I hope I'm making myself perfectly clear. Because I'm going to move on and play something for you all. Because this allows, like I said, in my previous videos, this allows for foreigners to attach themselves to the term native. Because what the term native actually means. So you will see all sorts of people claiming to be American Indians. I want to play this video that I saw as an example. And then we're going to move on to other videos. But I thought, just watch. I'm gonna just say it like that. Let me make sure everything is okay. We good to go. The volume is up. Watch this.
What's up? So we kind of got a thing going here with beautiful women of many races. So I was thinking maybe we should do Native Americans. You know, I was going to do the whole thing, but I'm actually not really impressed by this one. I'm going to be bluntly honest. You have my body. That does not belong to you. You're an imposter. Okay, we have another cracker smart aleck. Listen up, Blondie. How dare you? You're white. Obvious white girl is obvious. Okay, see, now you're upsetting me. You are a white girl who tanned her skin. Hey, is that an American flag? I don't know what's hitting me harder, my arousal or my offense. Aw, cute. No. Okay, can we just make this illegal? Is it possible to punish white girls who dress up as Native Americans with forced obesity? Not okay. Yeah, whitey. You're white. I like the angle. Very boobs indeed. Another white girl who wants to be force-fatted. Another white girl who looks like a total boner. Ugh, I wish you were Native American, but you're not. You are totally white. Whitey Whiterson. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this woman's from Thailand. And you are Asian. Okay, this needs to stop. I searched for Native American girl. Mostly white chicks show up.
And he did that in Google. Okay. And he did that at Google. Look, listen, hold up. Here, hold up. Hold up. Listen, hold up, y'all. A lot of truth was spoken right there. Like, of course he gives off, in a comedic way, he's telling what's going on as he's searching in Google Native American girls, and they popping up with a whole bunch of foreigners. What's going on is that it's been that way ever since that terminology was created. So that allowed for foreigners to take the place of the indigenous people. Like that's the way I want people to look at the term Native American. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people have gravitated towards that term because they're thinking, you know, it's politically correct, but it's not even politically correct. It's totally wrong. It's not, it doesn't fit the bill. It doesn't fit you. Because of the term Native and what it's defined to be. Anybody can be Native. Anybody. Times have changed. They keep allowing foreigners to come over here. They slapped your true identity on somebody else. Because don't forget that this government takes care of its own people. And its own people is foreigners. And once again, I'm going to simplify things. Of course, I'm going to draw these points out, okay? And I have done it in many different ways, but this is just another way for me to show you, no, we're not. We're not the same. Here's Donald Trump. I'm gonna play something of Donald Trump. Donald Trump in 1993. Here it is.
The other thing is, I'd like to know how many of these people are even Indians to begin with, because I've looked at them. And I have to tell you something, they don't look like Indians to me. And I've told a couple of them who came into my office, I said, I believe I have more Indian blood in my veins than you have, and I have none. And they laugh. They think it's a joke.
See? But, again, Donald Trump was making a big point. I know, right? I know. I'm not trying to laugh. Y'all laughing. I'm not trying to laugh. I'm being real here. This is a very serious matter. This is a very serious matter. But yeah, Trump knew it then. And this was before he went to the committee. Remember, I showed you guys at a different video and he was, they don't look like Indians to me. Now, not that video, this is a totally different video. He was standing on his word a long time ago. And he really meant that. And he straight up said that they were laughing at it because they were getting away with it. Right now. The people that are receiving the benefits that our people should be receiving. I mean, think about that. You know for a fact that there was supposed to be some benefits for our people after what we have been through. As far as the legacy of what we have been through, even with building up this country. But all you can see, every time you turn around, all you can see is the benefits are going to foreigners. And of course, this is not a knock to foreigners per se, but let's be real. They're not asking for anything. And when they do ask for something, you know, even if it's some out there that consider themselves a minority, like, for example, the Asian community, of course, they're going to, you know, attach themselves to the minorities, but When it comes to wanting something for themselves, they're not going to say that they're a minority. They're going to say that they're Asian. But we made a mistake, and this is what I want you guys to see. Like, not only did we make a mistake by latching on to the term black, we made a mistake by latching on to the term Native American. And a lot of you, Native Americans get this, and Native Americans get that. And no, they don't. They probably poorer than you. I want to play another video of, I'm gonna just let this play. And look, this ain't me holding judgment. I'm gonna just let y'all know right now, just the truth is coming out and has been coming out. They are getting exposed. These people that I'm referring to that are in our position, that have no business in our position, especially when it comes to things that are owed to us and a whole lot of other stuff. I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm not trying to prolong this live stream. I just want to get straight to the point. I'm gonna play this video and I want y'all to pay attention. Exhibit B, what we on, C?
In 2019, Carrie Barassa took the stage to deliver a TEDx talk about her rags to riches story.
My name's Morningstar Bear. Whew. I'm just gonna say it, I'm emotional, so.
Barassa leads an Indigenous health research lab at the University of Saskatchewan, all while observing Indigenous.
And hold on, notice how these people be having some nice little titles and nice position that they some type of way get themselves involved with. Notice that. Just notice that.
Lab at the University of Saskatchewan.
Hold on, listen. Listen.
Barassa leads an Indigenous health research lab at the University of Saskatchewan, all while
leads a health research lab
while observing Indigenous ceremony and tradition.
I'm Bear Clan. I'm an Anishinaabe Métis from Treaty 4 territory.
Barassa told the crowd she grew up in Regina's inner city, where she and her family suffered the effects of racism.
We grew up in a really poor, disrupted family, and that was due to intergenerational trauma. And that caused addictions and violence and disruption.
And it's this very compelling story that we all bought into.
Carolyn Tate is also a professor at the U of S. The Métis woman says she's worked with Barassa for more than a decade and always believed she was Indigenous. But she says recently, some inconsistencies and changes in Barassa's story led her and her colleagues to investigate Barassa's genealogy. And they concluded Barassa was not Indigenous at all, finding all her ancestors came from Europe.
We're all...
Stop. Hold up. All of our ancestors came from Europe. We about to get to it. Shout out to Delilah. I appreciate that, sis. Thank you, sister. I appreciate that. Sharon, thank you for becoming a member. And who is that right there? Running Dead, thank you for being a member for 5 months. I'm gonna drop a bomb. See there? Look. You didn't hear that? Hold up.
U.S. The Métis woman says she's worked with Barassa for more than a decade and always believed she was Indigenous. But she says recently, some inconsistencies and changes in Barassa's story led her and her colleagues to investigate Barassa's genealogy. And they concluded Barassa was not Indigenous at all, finding all her ancestors came from Europe.
All her ancestors came from Europe. Listen, this is going on a ton, okay? This is another reason why I want you all to not latch on to that term Native. Again, anybody can be Native. And look how she playing games. Her mother and father. But she giving off a look that, see, a couple of people were saying Mongolian in the chat. She not even Mongolian. Come on. Look. And they getting away with it. And you know what they call us? They keep forcing Africa on us because they know better. Like, think about that. If they actually came from a different landmass, in which they did, What gives them the right to tell us where we came from? When they are lying about their backgrounds. I'm glad somebody said Polish. A lot of the Polish people are involved in these Native American tribes, and they going up and, you know, getting some so-called power with some positions. It could be political. But then they tell you, even though that's say full-blooded, no, we don't accept you. I wonder why. Let me keep going.
We're all having a hard time getting our head around the fact that she's not Métis. It's embarrassing to think that we were so gullible and naive.
In a 2018 talk in Sudbury, Ontario, Bourassa claimed that her great-grandmother came from a small Indigenous tribe in BC and the Yukon.
My great-grandmother was Tlingit. She married an immigrant. They moved from the far northern BC into Saskatchewan, and they had a family.
But CBC News discovered the genealogical records tell a different story. Bourassa's great-grandmother was Johanna Salaba, who immigrated from Russia to Canada in 1911 with...
Stop. Woo, look. I swear, if we do an audit right now, I'm gonna drop another bomb. I'm trying to tell you. And these people get mad at me. You know why? Because it's not about, first of all, this is not about discrimination, me showing discrimination against these people. You know, like some people may believe out there, this is the reason why they claiming that, you know, they trying to sue me for discrimination. Like, discrimination where? I'm telling the truth. If anything, it was I was discriminated against. My ancestors were discriminated against. You are pretending that you are somebody that you are not. And you reaping the benefits, and yet our people wonder why they not handing no reparations to no black people. Because black people are not, I told y'all, black people are not owed reparations. We didn't call ourselves black in a historical sense by way of the majority of our people agreeing to that terminology until the late 1950s, early 1960s. Until the late 1950s, early 1960s. Prior to that, we were called Negro, colored, and Indian. Let me do the order over. It was colored, Negro, then Indian. Sometimes you would see colored, Indian, then Negro. Ain't no person else get labeled Indian but the Negro. But the Negro. And then later on down the line, they tried to attach the term Negro to Africa. At the top of the 1900s, they started coming out with those stories and those claims. Dalila, thank you, sister. I appreciate that. Talib, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Sister Love Jones in the building. I see you, sis. Man. And look, and this ain't it. I'm just getting started. I don't care. I know it's late. Dane like, Dane, you going, they like, Dane, you going in. Yeah, it's late. But I'm still gonna be going in. I'm sure the kids is asleep. So if a few choice words slip up, let it slip up. There's no holds barred right now, okay? Because when I'm breaking this shit down, the kids should be asleep right now. This is just more icing on the cake. That's all. That's not Dane pulling up documents or nothing right now. We done did that already. Right now, I'm going to show you what's going on also. That's also backing up what I put out already, what my wife and I put out already, what a lot of us have put out already. Shout out to Top Cats. We got things in the works too. Y'all just don't know. That's all coming out. Shout out to Top Cats. Yeah, put them kids to, let them go to bed. I love y'all. kissed them and hugged them for me, but the kids got to go to bed. This late night, late night Dane Calloway. Fair warning. Because these folks done lied. And I've been stressing this issue for years. HTPP, thank you. I appreciate that. Good job. I appreciate that. Remember the so-called Afro-American? We about to get into that, Damon. Hold up. Don't jump. Don't jump, Damon. We about to get into that. Let's stick with these Russians. I mean, these foreigners. Hold up. What they say?
Was Tlingit. She married an immigrant. They moved from the far northern BC into Saskatchewan.
Blah.
But CBC News discovered the genealogical records tell a different story. Barassa's great-grandmother was Johanna Salaba, who immigrated from Russia to Canada in 1911 with her mother and sister. She married Joseph Knizichek, who was also a Czech-speaking Russian.
Wow.
Dr. Winona Wheeler, a member of Manitoba's Fisher River Cree Nation, who also is a professor at the U of S, finds Barassa's claims infuriating.
It is colonialism in its worst form, and it's a gross form of white privilege. But you can just take somebody else.
It is a gross form of white privilege that you could just take somebody else's, keep going,
identity.
Somebody else's identity.
And claim to be them.
Hold up. Now, so you know, just in case, it's some folks out there to be like, Dane don't know what he's talking about. I have been stating these exact same things ever since I've been on the internet. And not one time has this changed. Not one. Not one. Some of the people turned their nose up in the beginning stages of my channel. They didn't know. That's fresh. Oh, it's coming from a so-called black man. I'm not going to trust him. And I made sure that I ain't put no white person up front because I wanted you to believe me. But now you want to base your beliefs, so-called, off of skin complexes. Fine. I told you, don't believe me. Write it down and look it up. I dare you. From day one, I've been saying that. Now, 7, 8 years later, here we go. I'm showing you, look, it's some white folks out there. that's been saying it. That know what's going on. That's calling it out. That know if they hear something else, they gonna call it out. If they see fraud, they gonna call it out. Like I've been doing. And this is the reason why they don't want me to put this stuff out there, because of this. They'll suppress the views and, no. This is still gonna come out regardless, if you like it or not. This ain't got nothing to do with your religious belief. You could either leave that at home. You could bring it over here if you want to. It could be in the Bible, the Quran. Go ahead, point it out in the chat. Look, I don't care. Hebrew, more, whatever. Whatever you pick, whatever you gonna do. If you're gonna do some religious stuff in the chat, fine. Just be respectful to everybody else. And don't be getting all disrespectful for somebody that don't agree with you. I'm telling you, this is a place for all family. Just right now, leave the kids in the bed. I don't want them listening to me because I may slip up and say something that may be not appropriate for children. I mean, if they over 14 and up, they done heard it already. Let them stay there. 14 and under, they gotta go to bed. That's fair warning. Because we just getting in this. And I mean, you know, I'm not getting all hyped or nothing like that. Y'all know this didn't piss me off a long time ago. This ain't nothing new, but it may be something new to you. You think I've been like lying to you or something? Like, it go, what exhibit we on right now? C, D, E, F, G, the whole alphabet?
And be in a position to speak on their behalf. And
they be in a position to speak on their behalf.
Access material support on that basis.
And have access material to support.
In a statement.
Hold up.
Support on that basis.
To support on that basis. So not only do they got the story, they got the funds and the other resources and sources to back them up. What that sound like, y'all? That sound like funds, books, the stories that they put out there, the pictures that they put out there, right? I told you it's conceptualism, and a lot of your imagination helped these stories progress by way of their conceptual arts. We went over this before. No, Dane, you trying to be Native American. And then I turned around and told you, no, they trying to be us. Now you know better. Here. Now you know better. Let me give y'all another example real quick. Hold up. And they always, and this is another thing, while I'm pulling this up, I want y'all to always notice things. Like remember, oh man, I forgot which video of that on Biden when I was trying to explain to you all how he made sure that he put together the word Native American with the term black. So it could sound like it was a difference between the two, but it wasn't. He said that he wouldn't pay black reparations unless Native Americans get it too. Joe Biden, right before his presidency, that's what he said. He wouldn't give black reparations unless Native Americans get it too. This is on my channel right now, video coming out of his mouth. And remember that time, what Bill Gates' wife, what's her name? Hold on, let me see if I can get that real quick. Remember she was trying to give everybody the V, but just the blacks and the Native Americans? And what her excuse was? Hold on. Here you go, I found it.
They deserve to get this vaccine first. And from there, you want to do tiering in various countries to make sure your most vulnerable populations get it. In our country, that would be blacks and Native Americans.
Hold up.
They deserve to get this vaccine first. And from there, you want to do tiering in various countries to make sure your most vulnerable populations get it. In our country, that would be blacks and Native Americans.
Why are we the most vulnerable? Wait a minute. Hold up, what you mean? What you mean? Barbara, what's her name? What's her name, y'all? Melina, I'm thinking of Mortal Kombat. What's her name, y'all? Big, strong jaw. Look at that jaw. Y'all. That look like a mun. Look at that. That jaw strong. That jaw could open up a door. And you don't have the key. Watch. She used her jawline. Just. Melinda? Okay, Melinda. Yeah. And look, I taught her well. She's doing very well. We got to get the chemicals and mix everything up with the particles and these reptilians. And then everybody listening to him. Like, what? Come on, y'all. We got to get the V. Oh, man. But look, no. So, let me show y'all exhibit. I don't know which one we going now. Hold on, no, before I get to that, hold on. I'ma just let this one play. Hold on, let me just let this one play. No, not that one. Y'all not ready for that one. Let me bring this one back up. I remember I talked about this before. Oh, this video is low. The volume of this is low. I try to make this one out. I'ma say it. I'ma just say, I gotta play this one again.
And after years of effort, it is now much easier for elderly Native Americans to obtain delayed birth certificates. Senate Bill 1393 was signed into law by Governor Doug Ducey yesterday, streamlining a process that until today required 7 separate proofs of identity and a trip to Phoenix.
Stop, hold on, wait. Did y'all hear this? Once again, I went over this before, but I know it's low, so I'm gonna have to listen. I'ma just, hold on. It's all the way up. It's on 100. Was that okay? Y'all couldn't hear it?
And after years of effort, it is now much easier for elderly Native Americans to obtain delayed birth certificates. Senate Bill 1393 was signed into law by Governor Doug Ducey yesterday, streamlining a process that until today required 7 separate proofs of identity and a trip to Phoenix.
Hold up, before we go any further, did y'all hear this? They required them to have 7 separate sets. What the? Hold on, hold. Wait, what? Famously blacker. $299.99. Keep going. Hold up, brother. Did you mean to add the 9, bro? like, what? I appreciate that, brother. That's love right there. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, you.
It's up.
What? I appreciate that, brother. That's crazy. Shout out to that brother, famously blacker. Oh, man. You ain't had to do all that now. But I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, that I saw that. I was like, huh? I thought that was a typo. Man. I appreciate that. Hold up. So let me start from the top.
And after years of effort, it is now much easier for elderly Native Americans to obtain delayed birth certificates. Senate Bill 30.
Elderly Native Americans to obtain delayed birth certificates. Legislation signed into law.
1393 was signed into law by Governor Doug Ducey yesterday, streamlining a process that until today required 7 separate proofs of identity and a trip to Phoenix.
They had to go to Phoenix and they had to provide 7 separate proofs of identity. I mean, if you are, if you Niji right now, y'all, I'm talking about indigenous to this land. How many proofs of identity do you have? And be real. Hold on. Look, listen. Listen to me. How many proofs of identity do you have as whatever you would like? If I say Niji, or if you're American Indian, okay? I'm talking about y'all, right? How many proofs of identity do you have? We could go over it right now. You may have your ID. You may have your driver's license. You may have your commercial driver's license. You may have your passport. How many was that? Like, I'm not sure if you're going to have your ID and driver's license at the same time. I don't know how every state goes. You know, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Okay, yeah. And then, right, your birth certificate, okay, and social security number. So that puts, what? That makes it 5. Wait a minute. Driver's license, passport. Because, okay, let's put ID, driver's license, and commercial driver's license as 1. So let's just say license, passport, okay, yeah, social security number and birth certificate. That's 4. Now, not voter registration. So, okay, so 3 we gonna agree to 3 to 4? No, library card. Library card don't even work at the library you got it from. Stop playing. You know how they go. I have 4. Okay, you got 4 IDs, a passport, social security, passport, social security number, and birth certificate. Okay, but I'm talking about, okay, nah, the utilities don't count. Not the utilities. In fact, we're gonna get into that soon. I'm gonna be talking about the real ID. Because all this stuff is rolling out when y'all traveling and y'all don't got the passport. I think you could utilize the real, if I could be wrong about this, but I believe they're going to allow you to use the real ID. If you have a real ID in your state, you'll be able to still travel on planes without having a passport. Even though I recommend that you get a passport, but I know the real ID is coming. That's official next year. Like, meaning stamp, that everybody got to have that. And I believe that's in every state. I could be wrong. But you can look that up. That's as we speak, they got until May of next year. We in 2023. I believe they got May. Hold on, I'm wrong. I believe they have until May of 2025. I'll pull it up. I'm not in front of that. Utility shows proof of residency. Yeah, not, okay, so they gotta have proof. Hold on.
To Phoenix.
Wait.
And a trip to.
7 proofs of identity.
Separate proofs of identity. And
7 proofs of identity. So not utilities. Yeah, a nationality card, yes. But unless you have dual citizenship, that's not going to count. And that's the okay, so 2025, people saying 2025. All right, so that real ID coming May 2025. Be on the lookout. I still recommend that you get your passport. That's up to you. I still recommend that. You get the ID and the booklet. Get both. Okay? Get both. It's very important. It may be a little costly, but so what? Just take my word for it. And get it for everybody. Children as well. So technically about 3 to 4, right? Delilah, thank you, sis. I believe you did it again, sis. I appreciate that. Thank you, sister, for going back to back like that, sis. Thank you for showing love like that. Famously, Blacker just went out of his mind. I should drop a bomb for him, though. He insane. They've been having your tax ID. No, okay, keep in mind, this is strictly for identity, not, I'm glad we're having this conversation. We ain't talking about something that you can, no, as a live person, somebody said your death certificate, as a live person, now your work ID not gonna work. Like cause you can't, for example, you can't purchase a house or get a loan or something like that with your work ID. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't, like you need ID from the government. Right? And so do they. That's the whole point. But I want y'all to understand that if their birth certificates were delayed, then wait a minute. Hold up. That many years? I want y'all to think about this now. They said the older people's birth they have been without a birth certificate. Hold on. Now I want y'all to think about that. I bet each and every one of y'all got a birth certificate, right? That look like you. I mean, that look like me. Those of you out there that look like me. Shoot, it could be some white folks out there that got their birth certificate, but I'm just saying. Y'all all have y'all birth certificates, right? We're just making this clear. And they always saying that the birth certificates is a part of your identity. Identifying yourself, right? Yeah, they didn't even have birth certificates as proof of identity. That is correct. That's correct.
And a trip to Phoenix. Many older Native Americans, especially those born at home in rural areas, did not have these required forms of documentation, leaving them without proof of U.S. citizenship.
Leaving them without proof of U.S. citizenship, y'all. Listen. So wait a minute. Because Native Americans are classified as U.S. citizens. But if they didn't have the proof, hold up. If they didn't have the proof that they were U.S. citizens, then how did they become Native Americans? Uh-oh. This means that they are illegal immigrants. This also exposes that they are not indigenous to this land. I don't care how elder they are. I don't care what rural area they allegedly grew up in. Because it wasn't in America. I got coffee right now. I don't care what time it is. It's late though, but I'm up. And maybe some of y'all gonna check it later. Y'all probably falling asleep. I got the voice on where you shouldn't be falling asleep. Now, if I talk to you like this, you may be falling asleep a little later on, because if I get into this voice, you probably would calm down. It would get a little relaxing. I'm not gonna do that to you. I'm just gonna make sure that you up right now and paying attention. They said what?
Of U.S. citizenship. the documentation, leaving them without proof of U.S. citizenship.
Leaving them without proof of U.S. citizenship.
The new law allows those individuals to submit an official tribal enrollment record showing the person's name, parents' names, date, and location of birth, along with one supporting document confirming the information.
Wait, they get to do what?
Showing the person allows those individuals. The new law allows those individuals to submit an official tribal enrollment record showing the person's name.
Hold on, so how, wait a minute, how did they get involved in the tribe before they became a U.S. citizen? Before they were even, wait a minute. This exposes that they weren't born here. Everybody that's born here, at least we thought, gets a birth certificate, right? At least we thought. Look at that. Look. We're winding back. Okay, hold on.
The new law allows those individuals to submit an official tribal enrollment record.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me cut that music off.
Leaving them without proof of U.S. citizenship. The new law allows those individuals to submit an official tribal enrollment record showing the person's name, parents' names, date, and location of birth, along with one supporting document confirming the information.
One supporting document confirming the information. They can make it up now. Now they can make it up. I mean, since they made it up anyway. Since they back there making it up anyway. That's a quote, by the way. Who said that, y'all? Since they back there making it up anyway. Shout out to Raven. Shout out to Little Raven. I appreciate that. Thank you for becoming a member. Dalila, I appreciate you, sister. Thank you for showing love like that. That was Louis Gates. No, that wasn't Rick Kittles. No. That was Louis Gates. That was Gates. That's Junior. Since they back there making it up anyway, Henry Louis Gates Jr. said that. He was talking about the genealogy DNA testing. He said they back there making it up anyway. Because they are. They can't take no swab of your mouth and tell you what part of the country you came from. It don't work like that. But yeah, so next one. So we just got this in mind. So now, you know for a fact that they hold on, let me pull that back up.
And
all right, hold up, because I needed to drag this over. So you know for a fact that they didn't have their birth certificates until way later. I believe that was 2000 and hold on, what year was that video? That year was 2000. I believe that was, I thought I had it down. I believe that was 2016. It was either 2016 or 2017. It was one or the other, 2016 or 2017 when that was aired and that law was passed and it was streamlined. One or the other. Let's get to this next one. Some of you were asking me to talk about, I don't have it here. Hold on. Some of you all were asking me to talk about this for quite some time. I never got a chance to. Because it moves so fast. I was doing other things. So I want to talk about this person right here. Now, I never got a chance to again, but I'm gonna do it now. Some of you may be familiar with this. Some of you may not. Her name is, I believe she called herself Sasheen Littlefeather. Sasheen Littlefeather. Now, she was an actress that played in different movies, and at this time, she was dressed to present an award at the 1973 Oscars. And she was doing it for, what's the actor's name that played Godfather, y'all? She was doing it on his behalf. The actor that played Godfather. What's his name? Help me in the chat. But I'm about to play that as well. Yeah. Brando, right? Wasn't his last name? Yeah, Marlon Brando. No, not Robert. Marlon Brando. So 1973 Oscars, she was there because he wasn't there. So she was there to accept the award in his favor. I mean, you know, on his behalf. And she kind of like dissed it, but she was playing a role. Because prior to this, right? I'm gonna show you something. Prior to her dressing and looking like this is what she looked like. The name of this movie is called Counselor at Crime. And it was also done that same year.
Ciao, Meg.
This is her.
Come la sfanghi, bellezza?
Me la cavo per ora.
Scommetto che con un culo simile trovi un quadrifoglio tutte le mattine.
Quando ne vuoi un po' non hai che da chiedere, è tutto gratis. Mi piacciono I poliziotti, arrestami.
White giant. Okay? Not again. Listen, this is late. So the kids better be Listen. That's her. Okay? So she got exposed right before her passing. She ended up passing. And her sisters did an interview with this particular article I'm getting ready to pull up. And they were exposing her. And then she passed. And then they exposed her again at her funeral. This is her funeral. I'm not, hear me out. This is bad audio, so I'm not going to show the whole thing. But her sisters were saying, I'm going to just say something. Her sisters were exposing, this is her, the girl, you know, that was acting like she was Native American. She was exposing that she was not Native American heritage, that she was Mexican heritage. And so was her mother and her father. It was not a drop of Native American in their family at all. And she just played that role. She also exposed, this is one of her sisters, she also exposed that her sister had a mental disability. And, you know, she played this role just like any other actor would, because that's basically what they are. So this was, I'm a play it.
Winning an Academy Award marks the pinnacle of their career.
But for Marlon Brando, it was an opportunity to make a statement. But the messenger was vilified. CTV's Andrea Case joins us now with an apology 5 decades in the making.
Yes, good evening, Sean and Michelle. Sasheen Littlefeather delivered Brando's acceptance speech. It was not well received, and for that, 49 years later, she has now received an apology.
Marlon Brando in The Godfather.
In 1973,
oh yeah, he was okay. So he was getting it for The Godfather.
Brando was a no-show.
Accepting the award for Marlon Brando and The Godfather, Miss Sasheen Littlefeather.
On live television,
Sasheen Littlefeather.
26-year-old
and that wasn't her real name.
Made her way to the stage in a beaded buckskin dress and moccasins. At the podium, she declined the Best Actor Oscar.
He very regretfully cannot accept this very generous award. And the reasons for this being are the treatment of American Indians today by the film industry. Excuse me.
She went on to spotlight the misrepresentation of indigenous people on television and movie reruns.
See, here's the problem with that, y'all. Like, the indigenous people were already misrepresented once they got here. So Hollywood took off with that, because remember, they have to give you the conceptual arts. They have to give you the picture, the Hollywood picture of what an American Indian looked like. But in this case, Native American. They associated Native American with American Indian. Right up under our noses. And nobody really paid attention to it. We let this slide. Because by the time the generations that came up consciously aware of certain things, you know, and then of course we had things like the news media, newspapers becoming, you know, more bored or more, I'm going to say more prominent in particular eras, like especially the 1950s and the 1960s, and then television was escalating things. Around that era is when they made sure that our people separated themselves totally from all people by claiming something that does not exist and never had been existing. For example, right now, you would say, well, what did Black people call themselves prior to the 1960s, Dane? And I'll tell you to answer that yourself. And you would say Negro and colored. But you wouldn't think to say Indian because of what they told you and showed you maliciously what an Indian looked like. Not one time during those eras of them crafting up the U.S. Census records did they have a section that read Native American as a classification of race. Not the description of a race. Not the one to be like Native American, Alaskan Native, and all other. Not that. Because that's a description. We're not talking about when they utilized descriptions way later on. 1790, 1800, 1810, 1820, 1830, 1840, 1850, 1860, 1870, 1880, and then 1890 is when he implemented white supremacy and all things started changing. But prior to that, the terms that were being utilized by the census was never African and never Native American. That should be a huge red flag right there. This is not it. I'm going to show you something else as well. That's even more interesting. I don't know what this guy's name is, okay? I'm just going to play it. This guy was being, I don't know, maybe some of you all may know this guy, but look at how the media grilled this guy. And I want you to pay attention to what's behind him and how he takes offense to the questions that is being asked. Now, when you look at and also pay attention to his facial structure, because I'm going to play another video after this. There's a particular facial structure that we're noticing. It's always there in place of the American Indian, but they're calling themselves Native American. There's a particular facial structure. Yeah, Somebody said Polish nose. It's always there. That's right. It's always there. And the pale skin, there's no color there. I'm not gonna lie, he would have had a better argument if color is existing somewhere right here. There's no color, it's just pale. And we know better than that. I'm gonna play it though.
There's been a big controversy about whether you're an American Indian or not. If you got your...
Okay, I don't know if you heard the beginning part, but the lady is saying, let me mute this. The lady is saying there's a big controversy on whether or not you're Native American or not. Something like that. Let me see.
There's been a big controversy about whether you're an American Indian or not.
No, she said American Indian. On whether you're American Indian or not.
Special treatment getting your job. Can you comment on that?
Because you're getting special treatment at your job. Once again, I don't know this guy. I don't know his name. If you all know his name, go ahead and state it.
One, I didn't get any special treatment in getting my job on that basis or any other. I got my job the old-fashioned way. I worked for it.
And are you
okay?
American Indian?
What's that have to do with anything? Are you?
She asked, "Are you American Indian?" Then he said, "What does that have to do with anything?"
Treatment in getting my job on that basis or any other. I got my job the old-fashioned way. I worked for it.
And are you
okay?
American Indian?
What's that have to do with anything? Are you a practitioner of identity politics?
Actually,
okay.
There's a big controversy in the mainland about that, so that's why I'm asking.
There is no controversy among Indians on that score.
There actually
There is not.
Okay, well, there's a lot of Google you, and there's a lot of
Google you.
American Indians.
It's irrelevant, and I get 65 emails from the same guy every hour in the United States.
So is that a no? Is that a no, sir?
What is it? I just said that it's an irrelevant question. What's the problem in understanding that?
Oh, is that a no? As an Indian?
What is the problem with understanding it's an irrelevant question? That's what I said. That's what I meant.
But are you or aren't you?
It's an irrelevant question. Can you spell irrelevant? Thank you.
Did you in a
Excuse me? No, I'm not. You take it's an irrelevant question to no, I'm not?
I did. I guess you'd say yes if it were.
Nothing but pale skins behind them.
Self-evidently, I am. Now it's an irrelevant question.
Self-evidently, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Wait a second. I'd like to know how you feel when the press does what they're doing to you right now on this issue. Because I personally have a problem with it, but I want to know how it is for you. Because this is a question people like to get hung up on, and I'm sure it's what's going to be on the news tonight.
This is flatly racist diversion from the nature of the issue.
How is it racist if we're asking you if you're Indian or not?
Would you ask George Bush to prove he's white? Who would you ask aside from an American Indian? Would you ask a black faculty member for proof of African ancestry?
Notice that. Would you ask a black faculty member for proof of African ancestry? Automatically, he throws it off. That's a deflection tactic, right? And just because some person is labeling themselves black doesn't mean that they have African ancestry. Somebody big mad. He getting called out. And see, this is another thing. I'm not going to keep going on that because I got to play something else. This is another thing that I want you all to notice. Notice how technically what my wife and I are doing on my channel here and the other channels that's associated with our channel, like, well, my channel, it will be our channel, her channel, the podcast channel. Like, we're not playing. Regardless, we're going to be exposing it no matter who like it or not. The pattern that we're seeing is that especially on TikTok and certain people on YouTube, they'll try to combat us by saying, no, you're African, you're Afrocentric, or your ideas are Afrocentric. And I'm actually against that as well. What makes me Afrocentric? I'm not wearing the Afro hairstyle. Afro is a hairstyle. And that's another misconception that they got going on out there. Some of them people are out there right now actually saying that we're Afro-Indigenous.
So Afro-Indigenous people exist, and we're going to keep going over this.
Afro-Indigenous people do not exist. We haven't worn afros in a long ass time as a collective. Who gave them the right to call us Afro-Indigenous? Just slap the crap out of yourself and maybe you could wake up. We did not agree to that. She started off by saying we know that Afro-Indigenous exists.
So Afro-Indigenous people exist, and we're going to keep going over this. And
it's portrayed as if she's doing this with good intent to be on our side, but technically this is working against us because, again, you're slapping a label on us that has nothing to do with us. Afro is a hairstyle. Just like they were naming the people Afro-Americans. That they wear afros and they're Americans. And they let that shit slide back then. But I'm not gonna let it slide right now. You're not about to say Afro-Indigenous. No, the indigenous people of the Americas, that's us. Yeah, and right, okay, exactly. She said, my friend calls herself an Afro-Latina, and I'd be pissed off because she don't learn. People are letting this slide. Afro-Latina. Afro is not a people. Afri is a people. Matter of fact, a small group of pale faces, believe it or not, the Afri tribe from Carthage. That's where they got the term Africa from. Man, it was spelled with letter K. I showed y'all this. Nothing but Dutch people. And they speak Afrikaans right now still to this very day. There was no such thing as an African. I'm telling you, and them, look, and the people that we calling Africans right now, if they didn't speak English, on everything that we love, we could put money on it, whatever, they won't ever call themselves Africans. The only time they do that is when they speak in English. Ask them with it in their native tongue, what do they call the continent of Africa? If they consider it a continent. Uh-oh. And make sure you ask them that question in their native tongue.
Indigenous people are here. They've always been here, and they're not going anywhere.
They always been here and they're not going anywhere. I agree with that, but not that Afro part.
Afro-Indigenous people, especially on this app, but in life also, are being treated worse than any other group of people by our people.
Yep.
Which, by the way, Afro-Indigenous people, they're our relatives too. Don't let your traumas get in the way of mending bonds that were broken due to colonization. That's what the colonizers want you to do. Stop it.
Now, she has a point, but at the same time, she's still making a mistake that I disagree with that, once again, with the Afro-Indigenous part. And also, we do not carry the same stories as some of you that are coming over here claiming to be us. We have to make that perfectly clear. Your stories are totally different from us. And here's the reason why, because you just admitted that we are treated wrong, more so than anybody from your own people, because they realize that we are a threat. Not only to just the identity portion of it, but you guys' overall existence in general. Because think about it, once it clicks and our people realize that not only were our land stolen, identity stolen, history stolen, legacy stolen, culture stolen, language stolen, tradition stolen, our gifts and gabs stolen, talent stolen, ideas stolen. I could go down the list. But they were handed to foreigners every single time. And the reason why you will be scared is because now our people will make the decision. And this is about to happen. Our people get a chance to make the decision, or have the chance to make the decision on who stays and who goes. And those of you that want to stay, you better respect us to the utmost here, because there's way more of us than you. That won't ever change. You know why? Because you all are dying faster than you can reproduce. That's a fact. Not only is it scientifically proven, but that's how it's that just goes to show you who the chosen people are. Why not make more room for the chosen people? This is the reason why some people out there had to create a survival of the fittest race, which is a game, That's why they separated us in classifications, race. It's a game. When we realize that the way you played this game has loopholes in it, when our people realize that the game we all playing has loopholes in it, and it was only designed for one set group to win, how long you think you're gonna keep winning? If the game is being played over and over and over again, how long you think you're gonna keep winning? You know, it can't last forever, right? You know that, right? Delilah, thank you, sister. Sister, thank you. I appreciate you, sister. Thank you for all that love and support. Who that? 357 Frequencies Harmonics. Thank you for being a member for 23 months. I appreciate that. Yeah, so like I'm telling you, this is the reason why they don't want us to do an audit on these people, because they're not us. They're not supposed to be here at all. And there's it was a lady on Joe Rogan. I want to show y'all. This happened about 2 or 3 years ago. Now, I've talked about this before after he published it, but now I think it's time to elaborate on it a little bit more, because the lady's name is Shannon Laughlin. Okay, but what's important is that her title is the executive director of the Association on American Indian Affairs. And I ain't gonna lie, she stated a lot of essential information that I believe people should know about, because since her people assumed the role of the indigenous Niji or American Indians, she speaks as if her people are our people. So it confuses the viewers, because her perspective allows them to believe that Native Americans are the same people as the American Indians. And again, they're not. So I'm gonna play this really quick. I want y'all to see this part. It's some things that she say, and she says it rather quickly, and I'm gonna pause and let it sink in. Let me make sure. Okay.
Cultures aren't static.
Right.
And we're not static. And I think one of the major issues that American Indians have is that we are often stereotyped into this.
Okay, hold on. Before we go any further, look at. Just take a look. Just take a look. Look at that nose. Look, y'all. Look. Notice the pattern. Notice that pattern. What she look like to y'all? Okay, somebody said she's Irish. Sonia, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that, sister. Love Joe said that's a clear woman. Is she definitely pale-faced? Somebody said look like the same phenotype. Uh-huh. Somebody said Italian, Greek, European, German. Okay. Mediterranean. All right. Nah, not Portuguese. Somebody said Poland. Dutch. Hold up. All right, hold up. She gonna state it. Watch.
Is that we're often stereotyped into this picture, and if we don't fit that, then we're not legitimately Indian. When you first met me, what did you think? Did you think, well, where's her brown skin? Where's
brown
the feathers?
Skin? Wait a minute, where's her brown skin? Notice she said that. Where's her feathers? Hold up.
Do you think, well, where's her brown skin? Where's the feathers? I mean, this is
no. I
don't think you did. But I guess it's a rhetorical question. Oh, hell yes. So,
well, are you 100% Native American?
No, absolutely not.
What percentage are you?
And that's. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. What other So blood quantum is an imposition from the federal government that has been used to weed out Native Americans. So the whole idea of U.S.
Not to weed out the Native Americans, but to detach the American Indians from the colored people. And that happened in the 1880s, 1890s. Actually, a little bit before that, slightly before that. But when it really happened, that blood quantum crap came during the same time period of white supremacy, 1890s. But he was like, well, what percentage are you? And he was like, well, wait a minute, is that racist? She deflecting, right? So she's explaining that since the government came up with this and it was weaving out the Native Americans.
Federal policy has been to assimilate Indians.
And she's talking about the one drop rule, by the way. For those of you that don't know, we went over this before.
To rid themselves of the Indian problem. So
remember. Now notice how she said, hey, cool. This is a lot in one right here. So I'm gonna talk about this. Now she said it was an Indian problem, but what was it, y'all? Was it an Indian problem or was it a Negro problem? Hold up. Listen. Look. Remember when I told you the terminologies? So she know, but she using it to her advantage because she could get away with it. Okay?
That land and resources could be obtained, right?
Whoa, look, hold on. She's saying a lot.
Problem. So that land and resources could be obtained, right?
So they were saying that it was a Negro or Indian problem, so land and resources can be obtained. That happened to us. It didn't happen to them. Hold up.
And so blood quantum was one way that the U.S. government could do that. So if you didn't meet what they thought was some kind of purity test, then they could write you off, right? But that is not how many Indian nations view tribal citizenship.
Listen, this is key. This is key. She's telling a lot. She's slid in because if you really paid attention to my channel, you're gonna notice that she's saying a lot of things that I made sure with proof and paperwork, evidence and documents to let y'all know it was about us, not them. So now she's aligning the stories with herself.
Membership.
And the tribal citizens, and the tribes, in order for you, remember I told y'all, in order for y'all to get with some of these quote unquote civilized tribes, because it's more than 5, it's like 353, 56, 57, 58. It's something like that. Over 300 of them. In order for you to get with them, they're going to tell you their specific rules and regulations in order for you to become a citizen of their nation. Keep in mind, wait a minute, I could apply to become a member of a nation? That don't sound like a family. That sound like a club, don't it? If I got to apply to become a member, that sound like a club. That don't sound like a family. Because if it was a family, I would be born in it already. Enrollment. Wait a minute. See how we not putting it together? I want y'all to put it together, piece it together. Huh?
Relax and take notes. Take notes.
All right. So this is all right. Let's back it up. Let's back it up, right? What time is it? Hold up.
It's go time, Slim.
Okay. So
but that is not how many Indian nations view tribal citizenship or membership.
So they don't go off of the blood quantum or the one drop rule. Okay.
It's through other types of cultural continuity, family relationships.
Cultural continuity. Family relationships. Hold up.
And it's not about race.
And it's not about race. How come she didn't say bloodline? How come she didn't say relatives? Wait a minute. Bloodline would have been the first thing. Wait a minute. That's what these tribes are basing it off of? Go ahead and tell us, what's her name? Laughlin? Go ahead and tell us.
That's been an imposition on us. So I'm Polish and Choctaw.
Whoa. No way.
Race.
Right after that. It's not about race. And then
that's been an imposition on us. So I'm Polish and Choctaw.
What was the smile for? No! And we allowing this to happen? No way! Another one that's Polish. The strong chin, like Bill Gates' wife. Why they look, man, how? Because we allowed it. Because our people allowed it. How long we gonna let these fools get away with this? Do you see the point that I'm making here? That little smirk that she did, though.
That's been an imposition on us. So I'm Polish.
Look at that. She just told her true identity and she gave you the devilish laugh. But these people are being considered Indian. And our people letting them get away with it. Now, here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. Remember when I told y'all that no, our people didn't call themselves Indians. That was what the government did. But the reason why I said consider using that American Indian marker, because they're referring to our people within these government records. And another reason why I'm stating that is because it goes all the way back to the Continental Congress, the War Department records. It goes back that they made contact with the Indians. Us. Not them. And not the people that look like them neither. We know where they came from. But the reason why they're not going to stick to their true story is because they don't have to. And then they're going to tell you that we all mixed. That's the excuse. A whole bunch of racial mixing was happening. No, you were purposely doing that. I'm sorry. Ain't no way in the world I'm touching that. Ain't no way. That ain't, Don't get me wrong. I done seen some beautiful white women. That ain't one of them. You ain't about to sit there and tell me that any one of us brothers gonna sit down and lay down with that. Ain't no way. She looked like a tongue about to come out her mouth and it's split in two at the top. We ain't even gonna get no great ideas about what she could do with that. You understand what I'm saying? It's late, y'all. Them kids better be asleep. Ain't nowhere in the world
It's up.
Ain't no way. Her body probably about that big. Ain't no way. We not about to touch that. We didn't mate with that. Well, it was a whole bunch of racial mixing. No, it wasn't. We picky. What you mean? If that thing ain't got no, some jugglers in the front and a whole lot of junk in the back, we don't know if that's a male or female. We questioning that thing. I don't know what that is, y'all. We ain't even gonna give this one a chance. She ain't even halfway there. She nowhere near. Stop playing. She about to go. That's what she about to go. That's what she about to do right now.
Listen to my stories.
That's what she doing. All right, but hold up.
Relationships, and it's not about race.
Right after that.
That's been an imposition on us. So I'm Polish and Choctaw.
So half and
That's
half.
disrespectful.
Something like that. Cynthia.
He said so half and half, and she gonna say something like that. I wonder what that something like is. Look at that smirk. Because I'm just saying, guaranteed when the clock strike 3, she probably turning into a different person.
Parker's probably a good example of that, right? Because she was 0% Native American, but was purely Comanche.
Right. Absolutely.
Italians are very similar. I'm Italian, but I have a last name that's Irish because I'm 1/4 Irish. So
hold on, Joe. Don't try to make her feel good because you Italian and Irish. Don't try to make her feel good. That's cool. That's cool. We can see the Irish getting with the Italians. We can see that happening. Okay? Because y'all was up there in New York right beside each other. We can see that happening. Don't make up no excuse for this heifer that's Polish talking about some Choctaw here. Ain't no way in the world. Don't let her slide with that, Joe.
Growing up around Italians, it was always like a way they made fun of me. You know, it was always a funny thing. Like, are you sure you're Italian? You know, like this, it's a, you know, it's like, it's a purity test. Like Italians like a nice last name with a lot of vowels.
Yeah.
You know, it's that's what they like.
And it's really interesting. So, as executive director of the Association on American Indian Affairs, we get tons of inquiries. Probably. Listen to this.
What is her title?
That's what they like.
And it's really interesting. So, as executive director of the Association on American Indian Affairs.
And she got a executive director position.
We get tons of inquiries. Probably the top inquiry we get are people wanting to do DNA tests to determine what tribe they belong to. So everyone seems to want to be Indian. And even some people are emboldened enough to say, you know, hey, I did my DNA test. It says I'm Native American. Where's my Indian check?
Really?
So there's so many misconceptions about what it means to be Native American.
Hold up. You saying Indian, and then it's so many misconceptions to be Native American. Hold up. Pick one. Because you ain't neither. You're not even Native American. Wait a minute. Yes, she is. Wait a minute, y'all. Hold up. Yes, she is. Because where did I tell y'all about Native American? The third largest political party, right? The Know Nothings. What we say about that? Whole group of foreigners, right? That practice Protestantism as their religious practice, and they were against the Catholics. I dare you to go ask her if she a Protestant or a Catholic. Ask her if she a Protestant or a Catholic. I dare you. Polish. She's an immigrant. You gonna tell me the Pilgrims sat and ate with the Indians? What'd they eat? Gobble, gobble. That's bullcrap.
The real issue?
Yes. That doesn't exist, but there's some kind of fantasy or myth that many people in the U.S. have kind of believe about Indians because we don't know. It's not like it's taught well in school. It's not like this is part of a normal dialogue.
And can you care?
It's not like it was taught well in school. It's not like it's a normal dialogue. But why was it so important to teach us in school that we came from Africa? Why was that? So somebody else could take our spot right behind our back at the same time. At the same time.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that it can really clearly identify what nation you're from.
No, DNA test can't. It
can
cannot.
identify whether you have certain genetic traits that might be from North America, like Canada, or might be from South America as well, right?
Right. Yeah. So if you really want to learn about your history and heritage, you have to do that genealogical research. And
hold up, wait, hold up. So they just technically, and people get mad at me because I debunked DNA genealogy testing and told you to do your research on your individual family, right? And they turning around saying exactly what I just said. Again, this was 2 or 3 years ago when this was put out. But no, I could debunk Dane. I could debunk Dane. DNA is real. DNA is real, right? Right? All that's over with as soon as you take a genealogy DNA test when they know it's bullcrap. And so do these people, and so should our people. But no, since you just, so used to listening to the white man and listening to the white man, whatever the white man say is the truth. And keep in mind that out of Africa theory came from a white man. Afro-American studies came from a white man. The terminology Afro-American came from a white man. And now turn around, genealogy DNA testing came from a white man. But no, that was a black man that started it, y'all. That matters for some odd reason. That's what they'll do. Them pan goofies will go out there and get mad at me and say you using the white man's information. That's the reason why I'm saying this, y'all. They said I'm using the white man's information. And you saying that genealogy DNA testing is not the white man's information? Science? What about the science? The science is a white man's information, right? But they scared to do their own genealogy on their own family because they know they're not going to find a drop of African in there. Oh, wait, let me not say drop before y'all start, thinking I'm talking about blood quantum. No. The majority of science is based off of theories anyway. Think about that. When they tell you a bone, for example, that they digged up lasted for 20,000 of years ago, how you gonna believe them when they were born 20 years ago? The individual, the archaeologist, for example. With this chart. Well, wait a minute. When was this chart made? 20 years ago also? So wait a minute, you're giving educated guesses, and since you have a title slapped onto your name, you're more creditable somehow? If Hollywood hires a studio to create bones to make it look like it was 20,000 years ago, and you show archaeologist that same bone, is he gonna go to his chart and say, yeah, that was 20,000 years ago? Or wait, no, that was just done last week. Uh-oh. You taking genealogy DNA tests and you thinking that you're 30% this, 40% that it actually makes you those people when it doesn't. You ain't never seen one of them people take a genealogy DNA test and they come back 80% African and they go rush to Africa. To what tribe, by the way? To what family, by the way? so they could be a part of them due to some certificate. They always get you with the certificate, right? You're smart. Here's your certificate for graduation. Here's your certificate for passing the gun exam. Here's your certificate for being birthed in America. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. How does certifications become authentic? Pieces of paper. Just like what? The money that we're using. Paper money. Somehow, we all agreed that they hold value, another piece of paper. And all these doctors and scientists get certificates to what degree they have been indoctrinated. And we're going to say that those people are more creditable because they did 4 more years in college. They stood up and studied this. Not no in the field experience, in the classroom experience. Again, another stranger manipulating you into putting you down and holding themselves up higher. Joe Reagan and this lady here, both are saying genealogy DNA testing can't tell you what tribe you came from. I would love for them pan goofies out there to tell me what tribe they came from by way of genealogy DNA testing. Because it don't exist. They don't come back with names of your family members. They come back with numbers. They tell you it's based off of your saliva. They swabbed the mouth of dead people before they died. Are they putting that in the database? Because how else are you going to tell me historically, my genetic makeup, historically? If you don't got all the information of the deceased people here in America before you even get to Africa. And look, you just started this testing in the 1980s, so show me proof that you digged up everybody's grave prior to the 1980s. Show me. You can't tell me nothing. And people out there wasting $100, $200, $300, $400, $500. And look, y'all, I'm 60% African. Falling for the tricks again. Meanwhile, people like that right here, just Shannon O'Loughlin just spitting it away. The problem with DNA testing for Native American heritage was Shannon O'Loughlin.
If you weren't aware, there's 574 federally recognized tribes and about 300 other tribal groups in the United States.
300 other on top of the 500.
Yeah, that aren't recognized by.
And just think about that. Now, if that's the case, okay, just as an example now. So let's just say 900 to 1,000 tribes, right? 570, whatever number she said, is federally recognized and the rest is not, right? How does the federal government know that all of these tribes were indigenous and what they look like and how they should go about business and why they should be a citizen and why they owe them money? Are people not looking at it? I'm telling you, all these other people have received things, y'all. And if our people didn't, why do you think we didn't? Are we in the wrong position? Are we claiming that we are the wrong set of people? Because they have been doing business with these people historically, the foreigners that they pay historically, and they have always been the same. But if we were to decide to go back to what we were historically, where we could see on pieces of paper, hey, that you made, you claimed that we were the American Indians. Listen, man, and y'all just looking for reparations. And we could have had this done a long time ago. Meanwhile, it was people like this. I just wanted to show y'all the difference between American Indian and Native American. There's a lot of Native Americans out there that are pretending to be like us. Some of them get mad at me because I'm telling you the truth. I'm not making up a lie. It's right in front of you. And what exhibit are we on? Was this E, F, D, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z? Which one we on? There's so many of these examples that's out right now, where they are constantly admitting this. You just wasn't paying attention. And that's fine. That's why my wife and I are doing what I'm doing. Other people out there on the tube doing what they're doing. Other people out there on TikTok doing what they're doing. Other people on Instagram doing what they're doing. And all of you are doing what you're doing. We waking the people up. Because we got things we got to do. We can't just sit still and allow this to happen. We can't. Shout out to Fred J. I appreciate that, brother. And Delila, thank you, sister, again. Thank you, sister. You've been showing love all night. Big old hug to you. I appreciate that, sis. Listen, I can't go further, but I'm looking at the time and I ain't trying to hold y'all up. It's been 2 hours. We'll do it again. I ain't even gonna state the date. I'm gonna just pop up. Be on the lookout, because every time I say a date. Anyway, I love y'all. Thank you all for your support. I hope you learned something, because we got other things we got to do. Come on, hurry up. Go back on my channel. Go check this out. I put the information out. Come on, we got things to do. I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. I love y'all. Y'all take care. Wado.
I'm just here to make you think.